Have you ever been wronged by someone who seemed to take joy in your suffering? This deliberate cruelty strikes at the heart, twisting the knife with intent. But here's the paradox. Their malice doesn't write your story. It's your response that will define the final chapter. This isn't just about individual resilience, but a deeper alignment with timeless wisdom, something the Stoics understood profoundly. Imagine standing on the cusp of dawn, with the sun painting the sky in gentle strokes of orange and pink. It is here that we meet Alex, who embodies the everyman in this tale of intentional hurt. An earnest soul, Alex believed in the goodness in people, always extending himself generously to others. Trust was his currency, and empathy his guidepost. Life had smiled upon him in many ways. His career, flourishing. His personal life, content. Yet, lurking in the monotony of daily routines was a shadow, waiting for its moment to obscure Alex's sun. This shadow took form not as a stranger, but as a colleague, a confidant turned adversary. One morning, while sipping coffee, Alex received an anonymous email that tore the fabric of his world apart. It was laden with accusations and forged documents, crafted meticulously to tarnish his reputation. The sender was later revealed to be Sam, someone Alex had mentored, shared laughter with, and trusted implicitly. The betrayal was profound, not merely because of its intent, but because of its unexpected source. How do you reconcile the image of a friend with that of a foe? The realization hit Alex hard, leaving him in a haze of disbelief and anger. With each heartbeat, his resentment grew, pulsing with the same intensity as the blood in his veins. Our journey with Alex becomes our own as we delve deeper into the inner turmoil stirred by intentional hurt. Why do we allow ourselves to sink into this quicksand of anger? Marcus Aurelius once mused, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This thought echoed in Alex's mind, yet seemed inaccessible amidst his swirling emotions. In search of solace, Alex turned to his mentor, Ethan, an older friend whose presence was always soothing, much like the coolness under the shade of an ancient tree. Ethan listened without interruption as Alex poured out his grievances, his voice cracking under the weight of emotion. "You are angry, Alex, and rightly so. But remember, anger is a wind that blows out the lamp of the mind." Ethan's words were gentle yet firm, guiding Alex toward a pivotal realization. Anger, in its raw, undisciplined form, was a force that could consume him entirely, blinding reason with rage. Was it worth the sacrifice of his peace, his rationality, his essence? He began contemplating the nature of anger itself. Anger, Seneca said, is a brief madness. It makes even the wisest appear foolish. It clouds judgment and leaves one trapped in a storm of their own making. But why, Alex wondered, should he allow Sam's actions to dictate his state of mind? This ignited a shift from emotion to introspection. Amidst these reflections, Alex started observing the mechanism of his emotional responses, noticing each surge of anger, the resentment bubbling beneath, and the urge for retribution. Therein lay the first lesson, awareness. With awareness came the first layer of emotional intelligence, transforming pain into clarity. Why had Sam hurt him? Was it envy, insecurity, or simply malice? And crucially, did the motive even matter? Understanding the why was less important than controlling his reaction to it. As Alex delved deeper, he began to construct psychological boundaries, invisible fortresses of the mind to safeguard his peace. He realized that allowing Sam's actions to haunt him was akin to granting him free residence in his psyche. Reflecting on Epictetus's wisdom, Alex saw that it wasn't the events themselves that disturbed him, but his judgments about them. Alex's thoughts now took on the texture of waves on a shore, persistent yet calming. The turmoil began to ease as he focused on reclaiming his inner sanctuary. This was a resolute act of forgiveness, not directed outward to absolve Sam, but inward to unshackle himself from bitterness. Forgiveness, after all, isn't a sign of weakness, but a step towards reclaiming strength. Armed with this new perspective, Alex found himself setting foot on a path less traveled, a path of self-worth and inner peace. He was no longer willing to see himself as a victim. Instead, he chose to be the master of his fate, reshaping his narrative with the steady hand of wisdom and the sharp eye of discernment. Amor fati, the Stoics' love of fate, called for embracing all life experiences as necessary components of growth. For Alex, this meant viewing the betrayal not as a setback, but as a valuable teacher. Thus, he forged a new mindset rooted in high performance, focusing on virtues that elevated him beyond petty retribution. Gratitude swelled within him for the lessons he had learned. Each act of kindness or spite from others was seen as a brushstroke painting the tapestry of his life. In adversity, Alex found a mirror, reflecting not only flaws to mend, but strengths to celebrate. It was this rejection of victimhood and the embrace of resilience that ultimately defined Alex's transformation. He no longer held Sam in contempt, nor did he wish him ill. Instead, Alex chose to wish him peace, a testament to inner transformation. Standing once more at dawn, with the day stretching before him full of potential, Alex considered how he would face the world anew. The past, though influential, was no longer his shackles, it was his teacher. Moving forward, he resolved to be deliberate in action, mindful in thought, and steadfast in virtue. So as we follow Alex's journey from hurt to healing, we must ask ourselves, how would we wish to respond to those who have intentionally hurt us? Would we remain imprisoned by our emotions? Or like Alex, would we seek liberation through wisdom and self-mastery? The answer, it seems, lies not in the fury of the storm, but in the calm that follows, where we find truth, wisdom, and ourselves once more.